Hi, I'm Mike Beliveau, and today I'm back at the West Shore Sportsmen's Association, and I'm going to be running a test on my 12-gauge English Fowler. So, as you know, when we're here at the West Shore Club, it's a beautiful club, but it is a club. It's the last official day of summer, and that means that there are going to be plenty of other people out here shooting, because it is a halfway decent day. So I'm going to have to work in between them, and you may hear some gunfire, but I think we're going to have some fun. So I'm going to explain exactly what the test is going to be, because these guns, these smoothbore fowling pieces, these were the go-to guns of the 18th century. Rifles started to come on really in the second half of the 18th century, and they were very specific to location at first. Pennsylvania, the Middle Colonies, down to North Carolina, on the Great Wagon Road, wherever German immigrants went, that became rifle country. But smoothbores were still very popular even in rifle country because they were less expensive and they were versatile, and that's what we're going to try to demonstrate today, the versatility of this 12-gauge smoothbore. What could a man do with it on the frontier? So we're going to see how it shapes up for hunting and for fighting. And hopefully I'll give it a fair test. I've got to be honest, my shooting ability is not what it once was. I'm going a little bit downhill, I guess, as I get older. But hopefully I'll do my part, and I know this gun can do its part. So what we're going to do is we're going to simulate hunting two ways. I'm going to load it with shot, and I'm going to shoot a clay bird. Then I've got a life-size deer target set up. I'm going to take 3 shots on that, and we'll see if we could have brought down our meat. And then I've got a full-size silhouette target, human silhouette target set up, and I'm going to take 3 shots on that. And we're going to do that at various ranges and see how effective I can be with a smoothbore, and how would I have done on the frontier. So let's go take a little bit closer look at the setup. Here's a look at today's setup. We've got a couple of clay birds, a life-size deer target, and a life-size man silhouette target. So let's see how I do. So one of the benefits of a smoothbore is that you can shoot shot or ball. So I'm going to load up first with shot, take out that clay bird. So here's the procedure. I'm going to use 110 grains of 2F Swiss. All right, I'm going to use a cushion wad. Now I'm going to pour in 2 ounces of shot, using number 6s, 7.5s. So 2 ounces of number 7.5 shot. I'm going to top it with a cut paper wad. And we'll just prime it and we'll be ready to go. Flint, don't do this to me. Got them both. All right, here's my loading procedure with round balls, and I know some people will be upset when I say this. I don't use a patch in my smoothbore, my Flintlock smoothbores, because patched round balls weren't used in smoothbores, at least not in fowling pieces, according to any documentation I can find, or that any of the people I know who are researchers can find. The way they were loaded is what I call bare ball. So I'm going to show you how that works. 110 grains, 2F Swiss again. We've got a 72 caliber round ball. Now, I couldn't get any commercially cast round balls big enough for the 12 bore gun to use as a bare ball. So I had a custom mold set up, and I'm going to show you that now. Okay, so I cast up a bunch of 72 caliber balls with that mold, and now I'm just going to load them. So I'm going to take this ball, I'm just going to drop it right down the bore. Got a piece of paper. It's about 3 inches by about 1.5 inches. Fold it in half. I'm just going to push it right into the bore. Take the ramrod and seat everything down. And that's it. Now I'm going to take 3 shots at that deer. Then I'm going to take 3 shots at the silhouette, and we'll see how we do. Okay, let's go after that deer at 25 yards. Third shot on the deer. Alright, this is going to be the second shot at the man-sized silhouette. You didn't get to see the first one because I thought I was turning the camera on, but actually I was turning the camera off. And unfortunately in this shoot there is no do-overs, so the target already has a hole in it. Let's put 2 holes in it. Okay, third shot on the man-sized silhouette. Well, let's put this guy away. Alright, well, we dusted both clay birds with 1 shot. And on the deer, I gut shot him once, and I put 2 in his lungs. And you can see that if I do my part, the gun will shoot. When it doesn't, it's not the gun's fault, it's mine. Now let's come over here and look at our guy. Okay, got 3 hits, and 3 pretty good hits. Okay, so on the clay birds, the one I was aiming at is completely dusted, and the one next to him has got at least 1 pellet hole in him. Alright, I've moved the target setup out to 50 yards. I'm going to try for that clay bird. That's probably wildly optimistic. I've made 40-yard shots before, but never made a 50-yarder. So we'll see. You don't know till you try. Nope, still standing. 50 yards was a bridge too far for the clay bird, but let's try putting 3 shots on the deer target and see how we do. 3 on the deer. All right, now let's put 3 shots on the 50-yard silhouette target. All right, last shot on the 50-yard silhouette. All right, well, much to my surprise, I actually hit the clay bird but did not break it. Now, I don't know what happened on the deer. I've got one basically in the heart. He got hit with a lot of pellets. But I don't know where the other balls went. That, I'm sure, that is just a one-holer. So that's not good on me. Obviously, if I do my part, the gun will do its part. But I don't know what I did on that guy. And over here on the silhouette, we got 2 killing shots and 1 crippling shot. So, on the whole, the gun will perform. It's just obvious that I won't perform. Okay, it's time to separate the men from the boys. Or maybe to separate the men from the tired old men. But I've moved the whole setup out to 100 yards. Now, even though, surprisingly, I hit the clay bird at 50 yards, even I'm not optimistic enough to try it at 100 yards. So we've just got the deer target out there and the silhouette. So I'm going to take 3 shots on the deer at 100 yards and see if I can put meat on the table in the 18th century. So let's see. One. 2. 3 on the deer. Well, it's time to put 3 rounds on the 100-yard silhouette target. You know, it's a funny trick of perspective. When you're shooting at something 100 yards away, it looks pretty small. But when somebody's 100 yards away shooting at you, they look pretty big. Well, let's see if I can hit this guy, because he's looking kind of small to me. One. And that is exactly where my camera crapped out. I don't know why. But for some reason it did not record my last 2 shots on the silhouette target. And, you know, unlike in other situations, there's no do-overs here because there can only be 3 holes in that target from 100 yards to prove my point. So I couldn't film myself again. So I hope you'll forgive me for that. And we'll just go down and look at the targets. Well, it looks like I'm better at shooting people than I am at shooting deer. That's kind of sad. Actually, it's not as bad as it looks, though it's bad enough, right? I would have gut shot this guy at 100 yards. There's only 1 hole in him. And that's because I realized after my first 2 shots that I was shooting quite low. So I held up towards the top of the paper, and I ended up popping him over there. On this guy, well, actually, I think I might have pulled one over here from the deer target. On this guy, we've got 2 really good hits and 1 crippling hit right there, all at 100 yards. That's not too bad with no rear sight. I'm going to live with that. So I just feel bad I couldn't put more on the deer here. So I would say that I would not hesitate to take a pop at a person, if I had say an Indian coming at me at 100 yards, I think I would try shooting at him. But if I wanted to collect some meat, I would try to get 50 to 75 yards before taking a shot on deer. And really, I think most of the badness is me, that I just don't shoot smoothbores tremendously well. So, anyway, that's the tale of the tape. Well, I hope you enjoyed this look at how effective this old man would have been armed with a 12-gauge Fowler on the 18th century frontier. And if you liked it, you know what to do, right? Thumbs up. Give us some help with the old algorithm. And if you're not a subscriber, please punch that subscribe button while you're thinking about it. We'll have more good stuff for you soon. So until next time, bye.